Hola y bienvenidos. Hoy te traemos una técnica revolucionaria para aprender inglés que hará que tu estudio del idioma sea más eficiente y divertido. Quédate hasta el final para descubrir cómo funciona. Si te gusta el video, apóyanos con un like, suscríbete y comenta. Comenzamos.
In a faraway forest, where the trees whisper secrets to the wind and the flowers change color with each season, lived two very different characters, the grasshopper and the worker ant. This magical place was home to many creatures, but none as peculiar as them. You are an explorer in this world full of mysteries, and right now, you find yourself in the middle of a clearing illuminated by a golden sun. The rays of light pass through the leaves, creating dancing shadows around you. Suddenly, you hear a soft, almost hypnotizing melody. You follow the sound, and there, on a rock, you see the grasshopper, playing her violin made of stems and leaves. The grasshopper is cheerful, carefree. She lives each day as if it were her last, singing and playing her music for anyone who wants to listen. Her music is beautiful, but behind that melody, there is something else. A feeling of loneliness that she tries to hide with her songs. Not far from there, you find the worker ant. She, unlike the grasshopper, is always busy. She gathers leaves, builds her home, saves food. She has no time for music or rest. She is always focused, always preparing for the future. For the ant, every moment is precious and must be used with purpose. One day, when the wind begins to bring the cold of winter, the grasshopper approaches the ant. Her eyes reflect the concern you have never seen in her before. "Ant," the grasshopper says in a soft voice, "winter is near and I have no food or shelter. Could you help me?" The ant, with her steady gaze, answers, "Cicada, all summer long I worked while you sang. Now, when the cold comes, I don't have much to share. Each of us must face the consequences of our decisions." The grasshopper, with a heavy heart, slowly walks away. Yet, despite her sadness, she continues singing. But this time, her song sounds different. It is slower, more thoughtful. Their notes float through the air, mixing with the cold, touching the hearts of all who hear it, including yours. The ant, from his home, hears the song. He feels a pang in his chest, an emotion he can't ignore. It's compassion. So, that night, when the moon shines with its silver light, the ant decides to do something unexpected. He opens his door and calls the grasshopper. "Come," says the ant, "you can stay with me tonight. We will share what I have, but you must promise me something." The grasshopper, surprised and grateful, nods. "Promise me that when spring comes, you will work with me. That way, the coming winter won't take you by surprise." The grasshopper, with tears in his eyes, promises. And so, you, as a spectator of this story, see how friendship blossoms between two such different beings. The grasshopper learns that music is beautiful, but work also has its place. And the ant discovers that sometimes sharing what you have, even if it's just a little, can make a big difference. When winter ends and the first flowers begin to bloom, the grasshopper and the ant are ready. Together, They work during the day and sing at nightfall, creating a perfect balance between duty and pleasure. The story could end here, but it doesn't. Because you're still in that magical forest, and you know that the adventures of the grasshopper and the worker ant are just beginning. And every time you come back, you'll discover something new, a new lesson, a new song. The forest is dressed in spring, and colors explode in every corner. Butterflies fly in chaotic dances, while the rivers sing with a soft murmur. It is in this vibrant landscape that the grasshopper and the worker ant have begun a new stage of their lives, fulfilling the promise made during the cold winter. Every morning, you meet the grasshopper and the ant working side by side. The grasshopper, though it is difficult for him, has learned to gather leaves and store food. He has not stopped singing, but now he understands that his music is even sweeter when mixed with the sound of effort. The ant, for his part, has discovered that pauses to enjoy a melody can make work lighter, less lonely. One day, as you walk through the forest, you notice something curious. A group of insects has gathered near a large tree. As you approach, you see that they are all attentive, listening to an old cricket tell stories. His words envelop you, and you cannot help but stay and listen. The cricket tells an ancient legend, the story of a magic tree that is said to grant wishes to those who find it. But there is a trick. The tree only appears to those who have learned the true meaning of friendship and teamwork. The grasshopper and the ant, who are also listening to the story, look at each other intrigued. The ever-practical ant says, "That sounds like a myth, something to entertain the young." But the grasshopper, with her eyes full of curiosity, replies, "What if it's real? We've worked hard, and we've learned to help each other. Maybe we can find that tree." You join them on this adventure, because deep down you know that in this forest, anything is possible. They decide to set out on a journey to find the magic tree, and so begins a new odyssey. The path is not easy. There are rivers to cross, hills to climb, and dark caverns to explore. But in every obstacle, the grasshopper and the ant find an opportunity to show how much they have grown. When a storm blocks their way, the grasshopper sings a song that calms the winds and gives them the courage to continue. When one path seems too difficult, the ant finds a way to divide the work, making it all possible. Finally, after days of travel, they come to a hidden clearing, where the sun shines brighter and the air is fresher. In the center of the clearing stands a towering tree, its leaves golden and its trunk gleaming as if made of pure light. There is no doubt, they have found the magic tree. The tree speaks in a deep, serene voice, "You have come this far because you have understood what true companionship means. Each of you has a wish, and I will grant it to you. But remember, true power is not in what you wish for, but in what you do with it." The ant, ever practical, asks for the strength to protect her home and those she loves. The tree grants her wish, and you feel an aura of power surround her, making her even more capable and confident. The grasshopper, on the other hand, asks for the inspiration to create a song that can unite all the beings in the forest, so that there will never be loneliness or misunderstanding again. The tree grants her wish, and a soft melody begins to flow from her violin, filling the air with a peace you have never felt before. You, who have accompanied the grasshopper and the ant on this journey, feel that this is only the beginning. The tree smiles and tells you, your wish is special. It is not something I can grant, but something you will find in your own heart. And so, with new strength and renewed inspiration, the grasshopper and the ant return to the forest, where their songs and their work are now filled with a greater purpose. Their story, far from over, is intertwined with that of all the beings you meet on your path. Back in the heart of the forest, the grasshopper and the ant feel that something has changed. The air seems fresher, the colors more vivid, and the birdsong resonates with a new harmony. The grasshopper, with her violin, plays the melody that the magic tree inspired in her, and soon, the animals of the forest begin to gather, attracted by the beauty of the music. As the song flows, you notice something amazing. Animals that were once rivals now sit together in peace, and those who used to be alone now find companionship. The melody seems to heal old wounds, reconnecting the forest into one large, united community. The ant, watching all this, realizes that the power he asked for is not just about physical strength. His wish granted him the ability to protect not only his own kind, but the entire forest. With his leadership and wisdom, he begins to organize the animals, helping them prepare for the winter to come, but this time, they do it together. Meanwhile, you, as the silent observer of these wonders, begin to notice that the forest is changing for you, too. You walk along paths that seem new, discover corners you've never seen before, and realize that this once familiar place is now an expanding world, full of secrets to discover. One morning, the grasshopper and the ant decide to visit the crystal-clear river that runs through the forest. Upon arriving, they see that the water reflects not only the sky, but also a small stone bridge that wasn't there before. Without much thought, they cross the bridge and arrive at a clearing filled with never-before-seen flowers, flowers that glow with a soft light. In the center of this new clearing, they find an extraordinary creature, an old, golden-shelled turtle that seems to be waiting for their arrival. The turtle, with a voice full of wisdom, tells them of an ancient secret. This forest is alive in a way that few understand. Its roots run deep, connected not only to the earth, but to the hearts of those who inhabit it. When its inhabitants are in harmony, the forest grows and reveals new paths. The ant and the grasshopper look at each other, understanding that their friendship and the balance they have found have awakened something in the forest. They now know that their role is bigger than they imagined. The turtle tells them about a great challenge that lies ahead, something that will test everything they have learned. The wind begins to change, bringing a strange scent and a feeling of unease. The creatures of the forest feel it too, and the tranquility they had achieved begins to falter. It is at this moment that the ant and the grasshopper decide that they must join together with all the beings of the forest to face what is coming. You, who have followed each of their steps, know that the time to join together has come. The forest is full of life, of intertwined stories, and of mysteries to be solved. Now, you are part of this never-ending story, where each decision, each act of kindness or bravery, builds a new chapter. The great challenge is near, and although you do not know exactly what it will be, you feel in your heart that you are ready to face it, together with the grasshopper, the ant, and all the inhabitants of the forest. The future is uncertain, but what is certain is that the story, your story, is far from over. So, dear reader, keep walking, keep exploring, and keep writing the pages of this never-ending story. Because each step you take, each choice you make, is a seed that grows, that blooms, and that adds more life to this magical forest.
Y con eso terminamos. Si te gustó este vídeo, asegúrate de suscribirte al canal. Además, te invitamos a ver el siguiente vídeo que te dejamos por aquí, para seguir mejorando tu nivel de inglés a base de práctica y repetición. Nos vemos allí.